War is a defining feature of world history. Aircraft became increasingly significant in determining the results of conflict and acting as deterrents to aggression during the 20th and 21st centuries. During the World War II, military aircraft matured, and their utility for both military and non-military uses grew during the Cold War and beyond. Watch the video to know which Soviet craft we are introducing to you all. So without further ado, let's begin. The MiG-29 was created in response to a request from the Soviet Air Force for a lightweight multi-role fighter. The F-16 multi-role fighter was a Soviet response to the American F-16. The MiG-29 re-established the Soviet Union's reputation as a producer of capable combat aircraft with its stunning maneuverability. The Fulcrum is the name given to this fighter in the West. The MiG-29 was produced in large numbers. This sort of fighter was constructed in small numbers, around 1,600. The majority of them were exported. Ukraine, with 6 regiments, is the next major player after Russia. The MiG-29 has an advanced aerodynamic design and an N019 pulse Doppler radar as its primary sensor, which is linked to an infrared search and track system for passive target tracking. The 912 prototype flew for the first time in 1977, and Soviet frontal aviation took it into service in 1986. The MiG-29, which replaced the MiG-23, was given dual air superiority and ground attack missions. Tactical nuclear strikes with 30 KC-RN-40 nuclear bombs were also assigned to fighter regiments. The Design Bureau created 2 radically improved MiG-29 variants to address the shortcomings of the baseline MiG-29. After the Cold War, both the MiG-29M and the naval MiG-29K suffered severe budget cuts, and the development was halted. The MiG-MAPO chose to focus on smaller upgrade programs that could be applied more quickly to Russian and export MiG-29s. A small number of Russian 913 MiG-29s received the MiG-29S upgrade, with the first phase introducing underwing fuel tanks. It's unclear if any additional phased improvements were made. The Warlord was doubled, and in-flight refueling was added, as well as an improved N019 MP Topaz radar with simultaneous dual-target engagement capability. The radar would have allowed R-77 air-to-air missiles to operate beyond visual range. Export MiG-29s were later equipped with such characteristics, as well as Western navigation and communication systems and a retractable in-flight refueling probe. When based on the 912 airframe, the standard export MiG-29s was known as the MiG-29SD, and when based on the 913 airframe, it was known as the MiG-29SE. The MiG-29Ns in Malaysia are actually MiG-29SDs. While these versions were marketed as air superiority fighters, the MiG-29SM stressed its multi-role capability with TV and laser-guided air-to-surface weapons. Pending the production of a 5th-generation fighter, the Russian Air Force is upgrading over 150 913 MiG-29s to a standard comparable to the MiG-29 SMC. This first full standard prototype flew in 1998. The upgrade was planned to include an N019ME or MP radar, a modern glass cockpit, greatly increased internal fuel capacity, RD-43 engines, improved serviceability, addition of an IFR system, and increased combat load. Not all of the features mentioned were planned to be incorporated in the first phase of the upgrade. The MiG-29K is a ship-borne multi-role fighter. It entered service with the Russian Navy in 2013, alongside with the MiG-29KUB 2-seat conversion trainer. These are operated from the Russian Kuznetsov aircraft carrier. Some time ago, India acquired from Russia a former light aircraft carrier, Admiral Gorshkov, but in a modified and upgraded form. In 2004, an agreement was signed to refit this Russian ship and sell it to India. This deal also included 12 MiG-29K fighters and 4 MiG-29KUB conversion trainers. In 2010, India ordered an additional 29 MiG-29Ks. The MiG-29K entered operational service with the Indian Navy during the same year. In 2014, the refitted aircraft carrier was commissioned with the Indian Navy as the INS Vikramaditya, successor to the MiG-29, is the MiG-35. This multi-role fighter made its first flight in 2007. It has more powerful engines, new radar, and new avionics. Though the MiG-35 received no production orders, the MiG-29 MU-2 is a recent Ukrainian modernized version. It costs around $3.6 million and takes around 9 months for Ukrainians to refurbish and upgrade a single aircraft to the MiG-29 MU-2 standard. There are 7 external weapon hardpoints on the MiG-29 fighter, up to 2 R-27 air-to-air medium-range missiles, 6 R-73 and R-60 air-to-air short-range missiles, 4 pods of S-5, S-8, and S-24 unguided rockets, 3,000-kilogram air bombs, and a 30mm built-in aircraft gun with 150 rounds of ammunition can be carried by the aircraft. The Vimpel State Engineering Design Bureau in Moscow provides the R-27 medium-range air-to-air missile. The R-27 comes in 2 variants, the R-27R, which has a semi-active radar homing head and inertial navigation control with a radio link, and the R-27T, which has an infrared homing head. The missile can intercept targets at speeds of up to 3,500 km per hour at altitudes ranging from 0.02 to 27 km, with a maximum vertical separation of 10 km between the aircraft and the target. The AA-11 Archer is the NATO designation for the Vimpel R-73 missile, which is an all-aspect short-range air-to-air missile. The missile features cooled infrared homing and can intercept targets at heights of 0.02 to 20 km, target G-loads of up to 12 grams, and target speeds of up to 2,500 km per hour. The Vimpel R-60 is a short-range air-to-air missile that can strike targets moving at up to 12 G. The R-60M includes a 20-degree increase in target designation angles, a larger warhead, and a new infrared homing head with photodetector cooling. The aircraft is outfitted with a radar system that includes an N019 radar built by Moscow's Phasotron Research and Production Company, an infrared search and track sensor, a laser rangefinder, a helmet-mounted target designator. The MiG-29 utilizes radar guidance for the R-27 missile in longer-range air warfare. The Indian Navy's aircraft are equipped with Thal's top-sight E-helmet-mounted sight and display. In November 2009, the upgrade's integration phase, which included ejection seats, weapon delivery, and navigation system, was completed. Thales also provided inertial navigation and GPS for the Totem 3000. 2 RD-33 turbofan engines are fitted to the MiG-29. The MiG-29 is the first aeroplane in the world to have dual-mode air intakes. The open-air intakes provide air to the engines during flight. To avoid ingestion of foreign objects from the runway, the air intakes are closed and air is fed through louvers on the upper surface of the wing root while on the ground. This is especially true when flying from a poorly prepared airstrip. The engines have a maximum speed of 2,400 km per hour at altitude and 1,500 km per hour near the ground, with a service ceiling of 18,000 meters. The maximum range is 1,500 km at altitude and 700 km near the ground. According to an agreement researched in January 2009, RD-33 engines for Indian Air Force MiG-29 aircraft will be license-built in India. Advanced single-seat multi-role aircraft featuring modified airframe, fly-by-wire flight controls, and enhanced RD-33 SIR.3M engines. Fulcrum E is the NATO reporting code. MiG-29M, training variant with 2 seats, it was never constructed. The designation MiG-29M2 was effectively retained. Many enhancements for the MiG-29M were included in the upgrade package for the first-generation MiG-29s. Additional fuel tanks and a larger spine give the plane a maximum range of 2,100 km on internal fuel. 2 152 203mm color liquid crystal MFDs and 2 smaller monochrome LCDs are included in the cockpit's upgraded HOTAS design. The enhanced Zuk ME radar has similar capabilities as the MiG-29M radar. The engines are updated R-33 SIR-3 afterburning thrust engines that are rated at 8,300 kgf apiece. The armament capacity was raised to 4,500 kilograms on 6 underwing and 1 ventral hardpoints, with weapons options comparable to the MiG-29M variant. Non-Russian avionics and weapons have a marked trail on the modified aircraft. Identical to the MiG-29M, but with a somewhat shorter ferry range of 1,800 kilometers, the RAC MiG was displayed at a number of air shows, including the 5th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition, Aero India 2005, and MAKS 2005 to name a few. For marketing purposes, it was given the MiG-29M RCA designation before evolving into the MiG-35. The MiG-29M2 now has 9 hardpoints, with a maximum external payload of 6,500 kilograms, depending on the kind of equipment and weapons. That's all for today. We hope you have found the video helpful and enjoyed another tremendous achievement of the Soviet. If so, then do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in another video.